My name is Philip Adelabu, and I'm here to explain how I wrote a program. I developed an app and an Android using Java, and the app actually is meant to forecast the weather of a city. Now, these are the major areas of the code where I'm going to explain. Now we have the main activity .java, we have the activity main.xml. All right. But before then, let me try to reload my program so I could see it running in my Android emulator here. So while this is ongoing, I would like to exactly explain some little folder structure here. Now, in this particular app, the, the project name is Vocast Weather, and there are different directory or folders within this project. But the major one here is the app. The app houses not only the manifest, it also houses the Java, in which you could see major um, other folder that contain some files. The, the main Java where the logic and the control is being used is found here in the main activity. We have also here where we can have our test being run. All right. Also here to our test being run. But for now, we are not really going to go to those unit testing for them. So we want to really explain much about the main activity here and also come to this place here, the resource where we see about the drawable, the layers, and the values. Those are things also we use in developing the app. But before then, I want to actually see if the app will open and let's see how exactly the app is going to behave or interact with the internet. And of course, I'm currently trying to load it here to see if it's going to launch very fast. So why it is also try to launch itself, let's come again back here to the layouts. See layout here, we have the main activity layout here. The main activity underscore main.xml. That's where the layout is. And the layout actually design or give the structure, the UIS look of the app. So we have what is called the constraint layout. Is one of the layout out there. We have the linear layout and we have the constraint layout. So I actually choose the constraint layout so that I can position my widget or my view in the user design aspect. Now we have the title. This one is a text view that hold the title. Just like we've seen here, there's an ID called title. The ID is just meant to actually identify this particular text view at the back. So because I have to link the back to the front. So I have to link what I mean is that I have to link my front user interface to my back where the logic is being actually being controlled. So after that, I also have what is called because I want to make sure that I should able to predict the weather of the day. That's today, and that is where this one is going to hold the title called today. And also, we have to have an image, an icon from the weather API that that will be retrieved while trying to make an API consumption or call. But this will hold an image icon. I give it an ID called today image weather icon. Okay, but before then too, you see all those things down here are they each have a particular text or view or image they represent up to the button here. The last one here is the button. The button is where I click after I input the city I want to try to see the focus of that weather here. So this edit text is the input place, just like we have it in HTML. We have inputs where you can type things. So we have edit text here. Now the edit text is called city name as an ID, just to make sure I identify very well to the ID. Now if you look very well here, see there's city here, city name, and this is city name here. What you see here, city name is there's an int. This int is found exactly here. Now see, now this int, I retrieve the int name, city name from this place here under string. If you look at, I put add string here. Because somehow we have to put some constant word somewhere separate so we can call them like kind of call the input the constant name and apply them in the user interface. This one houses all the string, the constant string that might be used. But for now, I really do not need this one because they were just for testing, and those ones are already being utilized and used. So I retain the title, that's the weather forecast title is very retained. I also retain the submit button is retained. So if you look very well here, see that there's this weather forecast up down here. Okay, now let's see exactly how it works because okay, my system is trying to slow down, but it should be able to pick up. Now here, if I tap Lagos, that's a Lagos, that's where stay Lagos. If I tap Lagos, so I should be able to see the weather forecast of Lagos City. So let's see. It's going to come. Okay, now fine. This is it now. See, today Lagos City has this 26.66 degrees Celsius and description light rain. That means there could be little light rain. But tomorrow also we have 29.30 C and Lagos. Description broken cloud. Okay, fine. Now let's come back here and try to exactly explain exactly what is going on here. Now, as I said before, my activity main is responsible for the user interface design, starting from the one above down here, the weather forecast here, this time the weather forecast, and then the text string is taken from the title here, right here. That's what we see here. Weather forecast above down here is found exactly in the string here. The title is here. This is the title here. So I made a call. We can only call this string here by stock by say at string, then the title because this is string and all these are string. So each of them should have a particular name, and the name of this string is what the name of the string attribute is what we call here to retrieve its own value. Like here we have the weather forecast down here on the title. So when I come down here, I say the text that need to be displayed here above here should be taken from the strings slash title. The title will be the one, the variable name of that particular value that's the weather title. Likewise, we have for today here, today here too. We have it here today. Okay, that one was correctly directly taken from the logic here. So each text view represent each particular um, output down here. We have the image view. The image today image icon is taken from here. Is here exactly is from here that's taken from. But it also updated using the logic down here. We can also use the logic down here to update the information, or we can get our information right from the variable value down here. But let's come again back here. I want to understand that all these are designed in such a way to make sure that the user interface looks like this one. When you are positioning a particular view, you have to also position relative to other particular text view. Now, for instance, so when you say Android layer with wrap, you have to wrap it to the content. That means to the wrap to the content. That means you want to make sure that the the backgrounds or the dive or the particular container where the text is going to be should be wrapped around the container and around the container, not throughout the string or throughout the screen. The art to we have to fit in to the arts of the text being inside inclusive. So the layer margin top, the margin top is 10. Maybe it should have been like 20 instead of 10. So the margin up is 10 to make sure that at least the whatever comes community be down. And the margin bottom is 20 to create a space between the next today and that one. So the margin bottom is 20. The text size is 30 space points. Text color is brown. Also, the color too is retrieved from this particular XML where we put some particular color. See resources, we have the color. So the name of the color that I use here is brown, and it retrieved for me this particular color here code. So if you look very again, see that I say color, text color at the color string, then from the brown, you retrieve for me that particular color. So the title also is taken from the string and title over there, And also the layer constraint. This one exactly is to tell exactly how the where exactly will the test view be positioned. Now layer constraint button layout. I mean layer the test view with the control button to the top of an ID today. And this one is the ID today. This particular test view has an ID of today. It means that this particular test view should be put on top, should be put on top of today. See, bottom, that means at its own bottom, it has to have a bottom that is relative to the top of today. So that's what some is layout constraint bottom to the top of this today. So I'm positioning this test view above this one. But also on its own top, this particular test view at its own top, I want to position the top of that one to top of parent. And the parent is the entire entire view space of the emulator of the screen. That's the parent. So I'm putting the constraint top of this particular view above. That means it has to have its own demarcation with the top parent above. So that is how we do order to. You have to position them based on the relative position of other particular views, either be it image view or text view or button view. Now that was in space. Now let's come back to this place down here. Here is a main place where all the control has been done, and we want to make sure that we need to first import all the necessary module we might need here, like we have the tools to pop up information, the text view where text can be displayed, the button, the array map, the bundle, the package list. All those things are things that we'll need while building this. So here it is responsible for making a call, HTTP call, client call to the internet where we retrieve the weather. So we need this particular third party volley request. But before then too, we need to put that one in our Gradle to make call to it. If you come down here, we'll look at um where's my Gradle? Okay, this place here. Okay, where we make call to it. Let me see. Gradle properties. Okay, yeah, this one. Now, here you see that you call we implemented this leap volley is a third party and it has been placed down here in order to have it retrieve from its own source and having make it available into the program down here. So likewise we did for that one to service location. How do you determine the location of the particular of your device at any point in time? That one will be needed. This one also it was needed to make sure we have the image being called from URI or URI, that's location, URI location of the image from where it is. So we make use of Picasso. Picasso is another third-party framework that we need to apply. So it has to be first called using this one inside the Gradle and then can be used. So let's go back again to our main activity down here. Our main activity down here is where the all logic is being done. So if you come down here, okay, here too, we have the import JSON array. This one it is used to manipulate the JSON response call from the weather forecast third-party API because that is important to have that one too. And here you see that we have all these things down here to have it as a global variable of the class and just become private so I can hide them from a third party that's not within this project. So any other application cannot access this of course this declare private. So we have the test view, we have the test view, city view, tomorrow weather view. All these are variables that will make use in order to interact with the user interface of the layout. So we have the vocals provider client. This one also is responsible for make sure that we can get the location of the phone or anywhere it is the current location of the phone can be gotten from that place. So the image we have two different images. There's one above here and one below down here. The first image is to tell the weather forecast image of that day, while the second image is an icon that's been retrieved from the open weather map sites. The second one is here. So we have it for 2D image with that. Now, I was seeing something about the global variable being declared above any other function in the class, and they are all named private. Why? So that no other third-party application outside this project should be able to access those particular variables. Now, here we initialize all these variables using this particular statement. Now, this particular one say find view by R. Find view by ID means that we want to link our activity main XML view or any particular information here, be it text view, image view, button, the particular modules. All of these things can be linked to the front end to number one. So I did that one exactly. City view is linked here using this particular one. Find view by ID r dot id dot city name. Then I have to cast using text view and store it down here. So I did that for all of those ones. Likewise, the image to find view by ID to the image weather icon is also being linked to this one. When that one is being done, we came down here again, as I explained before, that this one is a button that will continuously listen and take effect when somebody click on the button. This is where it is being declared and being assigned to button. Also, if you come down here, so that this one exactly it is meant to initialize the location provider. That is how you locate the latitude and longitude of the device at that point in time before it is being replaced by a particular city name here and look for the weather vocal. Now, city here is actually a variable that store the value being enter here into this place. So after that one, we may call this one. But then, is this one call will be done. That's when the function run. At that point, no one has actually yet clicked the button because this one has a set on click listener that listening to the button click. If there's a click, then this particular function here will be called. And when it is called, it's going to run. It's called the it's lambda function call. So, but let's assume that we actually run the program initially and no one has actually clicked the button. You will assume that this will be called. Take permission location permission. This one is actually meant to decide if the application is given access to locate the device or have access to the location of the device. If permission is not yet granted, so we have to call this one to make a request location. Look again by here. Here we say that I want to make it more like now activity compact dot check set permission. Let me this particular flash that's this manifest permission access file call is not um being if it's not been granted. Then what we will do that means that the permission has not yet been granted. What we want to do, we'll call this. So we are not calling you are not calling to make a request to grant the permission. And when that one is done, this function here will be called exactly. This one's called on request permission result. And when that one is done, it's going to ask the user to grant access to the location or to access the location of the device. This one does that. Request code is called to location permission request code. If it is equal to that one, that means actually we have been granted. So if you have been granted, then will not come down here. Location, first location. And first location here is there. That means we are not fetching the location of your device. So here, don't forget that we are these fish location clients, the third party that were imported down here. If you see very well, where is this place here? This one actually just meant for locating the device. A third party that we actually imported. So when we are now fetching, we want to make sure that okay before then, all right. So on success listener, by the time we actually make call to the location, we want also make sure that this city is not null and it's not an empty. If it's empty and null, then we can access location and to get the latitude and longitude of the location before making a call to the API and get access to the weather forecast of today only because that one does not have to deal with tomorrow forecast because this one is just a default to get the location. But if the name or the city has been inputted from this particular place, then it will be stored in city. That means we want to get the weather forecast of a particular city around the world. In that case, we don't need to latitude or longitude of the moment at that particular the phone is being used. So we'll get that one and fetch it and then call after fetching is all right. No, this is a URL. We'll now put the URL here and the city name here and make a call to fetch weather data. Fetch weather data is here to actually fetch the data of that particular area with the city name. Now we'll look again here. If you see very well, see that we have this new string request.method get URL. This is a URL here. Now, if we do that one, it has some callback function here. Response is the kind of JSON string that's been returned from the URL call. If that one is successful, we now can manipulate all this response in this part. You don't forget that we also have here the real JSON that manipulate. But here I wanted to just make sure that I organize my text view, my today weather description, my tomorrow weather description into a map. So I can locate each of them based on their key number. Here, I also set today test view. Don't forget that today test view is here. Today test view is around here. It is today. Today ID. I actually link this one to my today test view here above. So this today can set the value. Anything I put down here will be the one that will reflect. This one I will have here is called today's string, and it's from here I got it from. So it not come down here. For tomorrow is set here. That is tomorrow forecast. This one, tomorrow forecast is set down here. So after that, I now come here, put the JC manipulation into a try and catch block in case of an error. So when that one is done, I make sure that I manipulate the weather data response from the API call that we got above. So I can now retrieve the main, the temp, the weather, the description, and the icon of that particular image that you have here of the weather. So the icon now will be now placed here in a separate icon URL to now call and then display it using the Picasso.get load function to now put it inside the image view that we have is being declared above and linked to the um, front. This is the today image with our vocals weather icon is there. Today image weather icon. This one is just meant to display the image down here. So the same thing goes for here too. This one's for tomorrow, like we have here tomorrow. This is just when this function is called. Don't forget when we have a city being applied, that's being used down here to apply. But if you don't put any city, they will want to just get the default weather forecast based on the latitude or longitude of the location of the device. In that case, we don't need the city here. So this one is just one. We just get us the weather forecast of that particular area at that time. And similar function of this one is also gotten above down here without no big differences. So if we now come back here, so that when we fetch the location, we now know that okay, we have a location. But you don't forget that we must have actually granted the location permission before we can now access fetch location here. If you are not granted, then we cannot do that. But also, if we are not granted the location, we might also still use our input field to get access to the to the location of the input field entirely in other city like Paris, like New York, like Abidjan, like Hong Kong, any city in the world can be accessed. And that's the case, you do not display the weather forecast of that part. And I hope this is a bit clear. I'm also going to give a link to the URL and to the GitHub so one can have access to the entire source code and try to understand how this work. Okay, thank you so much.